ॐ दक्षिणस्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशववामन कृष्ण पाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So we just started the introduction of one of a very small and a beautiful text, a Gita, a dialogue between a Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru and a Mumukshu. And here the Guru is none other than Lord Rama, who is none other than the avatara of the great Mahavishnu himself. And as this comes in the Brahmanda Purana and in a section called Adhyatma Ramayana, we don't find a specific Mangalacharana shloka here, but it started, because see, it is somewhere in it is a Uttarakanda of, Adhyatma Ramayana. And naturally, earlier in the Puranas also, when this whole thing has started, Adhyatma Ramayana has started, Mangala Charanam will always be there. But this is something from the middle of there we are taking. But even then, we have Bhagwan Shiva talking to Parvati, and in the very first verse itself, the Mangala Charanam is there in the form of Lord Shiva describing Lord Rama as the most auspicious of the auspicious. He says, Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana, the most auspicious Vigrahavan, Dharmo Vigrahavan Rama, the one who is nothing but an embodiment of auspiciousness, and an auspiciousness of what? Dharma. Such a person is the one who, having established the glory of Ramayana, the glory of his life, he established it in the sense he made his life a model. Rama did not establish his glory. Rama's life became a glorious example for the others. This is what we have to understand. And Bhagwan Shiva said that he used to be a great storyteller, and his brother Lakshmana used to always pester him for stories of old stories which Rama knew, which were something of, a kind of things which would help a person in a spiritual path. And Rama would tell stories about many things to Lakshmana. And one of the examples was given of the story of a Raja, of a king, who out of ignorance did something for which he had to pay the very price of his ignorance, the very price of his pramada, neglect. Sometimes, we neglect by omission or by commission there is neglect, and whether we like it or not, we have to pay for it. When we have made an omission or commission, we have to pay for it. And he's telling the story to Lakshmana about a king who, out of negligence and ignorance, gets into trouble, and how he is born in the very lower janmas. This is just a story, just an example of what kind of stories Rama used to tell Lakshmana. And here in the third verse, we saw that, which we did in the last session. Here he says, Kadachit ekanta upasthitam prabhum. Okay, Ramam. Rama was sitting ekanta, in ekanta, and that means he was free, probably free from the duties of his, kingdom and all that. He was sitting free. And Rama lalita pada pankajam. Sita was very carefully, very lovingly serving her husband. And at that time, what happened? Saumitri asid asaditam. Okay, Saumitri, that is Sumitra's son, Lakshmana, came. And who is this Lakshmana? In the third line, an adjective to Saumitri is given, Shuddha Bhavana. Saumitri, who is a Shuddha Bhavana. What is the meaning of Shuddha Bhavana here? Shuddha Bhavana means a person who has an very, very pure intellect. The one who has Chitta Shuddhi. And I mentioned in the very previous section itself, in the previous session itself, that Lakshmana served Rama for 14 years with the absolute attitude of Karma Yoga. He's, served Rama like a person who is like a total service without asking any questions. And he served him so well. It was a Karma Yoga. It was an Upasana. Serving Rama and Sita was his worship, his Upasana. It was nothing other than what he was really doing for Chitta Shuddhi. That is what he was doing for his Chitta Shuddhi. He was doing that. And therefore it is said that this who is a Shuddha Bhavana. Shuddha Bhavana means the person who was actually a person who was of a pure mind and intellect. Raga Dveshas were gone, and the one Lakshmana who was absolutely in a sense of emotional balance, maturity of the intellect. And this person, Lakshmana, he came towards Rama not as a brother this time, not just to have a chat this time, but how did he come? Pranamya bhaktya. He came and touched the feet, surrendered to Lord Rama, and bhaktya pranamya, with great bhakti, with great devotion, with great surrender, he literally touched the feet, which indicates the humility of a person and the willingness to learn. Tadvidhi pranipatena pranipata. Bhagavan Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, pranipata, literally bowing down, literally doing a Sashtanga Namaskara. What does it mean? It means that you are indicating to your Guru that ego is no longer there in me, which will block this teaching from coming from you to me. And therefore, I am willing to learn from you. I am willing to surrender to you. I am willing to take you as my Guru, and I am willing to do anything that is necessary for me to function as a Shishya, or whatever is my duty as a Shishya. I am very much willing to do that. That is the indication given by Pranamya, Vinayanvitaha, Vinayanvitaha, with a lot of Vinaya, with a lot of softness, with a lot of humility, literally, prostrating before him, not looking into his eyes, bending his head, and asking for this knowledge. And how did he ask for this knowledge? Now comes Saumitri Uvacha. Now comes in the next verse, Saumitri Uvacha. So, how Lakshmana asked for this knowledge. It is said in our scriptures that this knowledge of Atmajnanam should never be given unless it is asked for. This knowledge is something which is given only when a mumukshu, who is a prepared mumukshu, comes, surrenders to the Guru, vinayanvitaha, with humility, asks for this knowledge. And this is what Lakshmana or Saumitri did. And who's telling this? Lord Shiva is telling Parvati that when Rama was sitting, Lakshmana came, prostrated before him, and asked for this knowledge. And how did Saumitri or Lakshmana address Rama? What did he say? How did he address Rama? That is what is going to be talked about here. So what did he say here? Tvam shuddha bodhosi hi sarvadehina. So sarvadehinam atmasya dhishosi nirakriti swayam pratiyase jnana drisham mahamate padabja branga hita sanga sanginam. So we can chant it in many ways. So normally we chant it with the Guru Paduka Stotra. Na 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 na. Tvam shuddha buddhosi hi sarva dehinam atmasya dhishosi nirakriti swayam pratiyase jnana drisham mahamate padabja brangahita sanga sanginam. This is the correct way of chanting it. The first time I chanted, I was a little confused. So this is the way we normally chant it here. This is how I have learned. This is how my guru who taught me this chanted this. So this is how I'll be chanting it. The Guru Paduka Stotra way only. The way we start. Namo Namah Shri Guru Padukabhyam. In the same tune we'll chant it. Okay. So Saumitri Uvacha. So Saumitri said. So what did Lakshmana say? Hey Bhagwan Rama, Tvam Shuddha Bodhosihi Sarvadehinam. Now to say this, Lakshmana must be knowing something about Vedanta. Like Arjuna, who asked those relevant questions, pariprashnas, shows that Arjuna was not a novice. He had some knowledge. He knew something about what he was going to ask, though he was not aware of everything. Here also, Lakshmana is addressing Rama as very Ishvara itself. Rama is his brother, but then he is addressing him as Ishvara. Tvam shuddha bodhosi. Tvam, he Rama, you are that consciousness, shuddha bodha. You are that consciousness free from any kind of a negative thing or any kind of a limitation. There is no limitation and there is no question of any kind of an impurity. You are in the form of that absolute pure consciousness. That means Lakshmana knows something about what is consciousness, and he is addressing his brother. You are that pure consciousness, Shuddha Bodhosi, free from any kind of a limitation, free from any kind of ignorance, free from any kind of a notion, free from any kind of a misunderstanding. Shuddha Bodha. You are that pure consciousness, that Chaitanya Swarupa, where sarvadehinam. Tvam shuddha bodhosi hi sarvadehinam. Sarvadehinam. In all bodies, in all living beings, you are that consciousness. You are the kshetrajna. Okay? Hriddeshe Ishvaraha. Okay? Is in every hriddesha. Sarva jivanam hriddeshe tishtati. Hey Arjuna, Krishna said, Ishvara in the form of consciousness, in the form of the very knowing, is available in every living being. In every living being, Ishvara is in the form of Shuddha Bodha. We are all Shuddha Bodhas. Lakshmana, who is asking this question to Rama, who is addressing Rama as Tvam Shuddha Bodhosi, Lakshmana should also know Aham api Shuddha Bodha eva asmi. But he is not saying that because he doesn't know that yet. And Rama has to tell him, give him this knowledge. Tvam Shuddha Bodhosi. He definitely, verily, Sarvadehinam. In Sarvadehinam, in all dehis, that means in all the dehas, in all the jivas, you are that untainted, pure, clear Chaitanya Swarupam and Atma of every being. Shuddha Bodhosi, Atma Asya Adhishosi, Nirakriti Swayam. And you are that Shuddha Bodha, which is nothing but the Atma, the Kshetrajna in every jiva. And Adhishosi, Adhisha Asi. Adhisha means what? That which is the very Adhishtana. You are that consciousness, that Atma, which is the Adhishaha, the very substratum. Of course, the word substratum somehow doesn't, Adhishtanam is the correct word. Certain Sanskrit words cannot be translated. Of course, in English translations, for Adhishtanam, you get the word substratum. But then it's really not the right word. It does not give the actual, the correct, feel of. So some of the Sanskrit words are better to be used in that language only. So Adhishosi, you are the Adhisha. You are the Adhishtanam. You are the Adhishtanam of the body, mind, sense complex of the whole universe, of everything. That means what? Ishvarositvam. You are that Ishvara. Who is manifesting as the very consciousness, as the very Atma, as the very Adhishtanam of every body, mind, sense complex, of every jiva. But who are you by yourself? Nirakriti Swayam. Nirakriti Swayam. But you in your real nature are Nirakritihi. Arupam. Okay, you are that Arupa Atma. Formless, nameless consciousness in every being. The Adhishtanam of every being. You are that. Ishvarosi Swayam Nirakritihi. Swayam, but by yourself, you are without a form. Does it mean that Lakshmana is not seeing Rama's form? The beautiful Ajanubahu Rama, isn't it? We have seen in Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana, we have seen Rama's description, how he is. You mean to say Lakshmana has not seen him for years and years, right from childhood, and more so he's been with that Akriti called as Rama for 14 years in Vanavasa. But then what does he say? Nirakritihi Swayam. That means Lakshmana is already exposed to enough Vedanta. Otherwise, will he say that? Will we say to our parents anytime, Amma, you are that consciousness which is in every jiva, and Swayam, you are Nirakritihi. Hey mother, give me that knowledge which you know. Have I ever said that to my mother? Or have we ever said that to anybody who we know is a jnani who can give it to us? No. Here is a brother who is so attached to Rama physically also, in form also. But Lakshmana knows that my brother Rama is none other than Ishvara. He is that consciousness in every being, the adhishtanam of every body, mind, sense complex. Swayam, but by himself. Rama is not my brother. He is Nirakriti. Nirakriti. It doesn't have a form. Hey Bhagwan, hey Rama, you are a nameless, formless, pure Chaitanyam in every jiva's heart as the very consciousness, as the very adhishtanam of every body, mind, sense complex. And then he says, Pratiyase jnanadrisham mahamate. So he says, Pratiyase jnanadrisham mahamate. And jnanis know who you really are. Jnanis understand you not as Rama, not as the Ayodhyapati Rama, not as the Sitapati Rama, not as a Lakshmana Agraja Rama, but the Jnanis, okay, the Munis, okay, Vashishyadi, Vishwamitradi, Munis and Rishis know you as what? As you are. Swayam Nirakritihi. This body as Rama is a mere manifestation of Lord Vishnu. This body as Rama is a mere upadhi of that consciousness, Ishvara. So, Mahamate, okay, and your head, people, and you are a Mahamati. You are a Mahamati, Pratiyase. You manifest yourself as that consciousness, and only Jnana Drisham, only those people who have an eye of wisdom, Jnana Chakshuhu, only Jnanis know who you are. Okay, so here he says, Mahamate, he Mahamate, Padabja Brangahita Sanga Sanginam. What kind of Jnana Drishas are these? Those who are bhaktas and having lived a life of bhakti. Jnana Drishas. These are all munis. They have lived a life of satsanga. They have lived a life of bhakti. And it is these people who have lived a life of bhakti and satsanga and who have become parabhaktas, as we saw in Narada Bhakti Sutras. We saw that they are parabhaktas. And it is these jnana drishas, those who have these eyes of seeing beyond the body, the ones who have the jnana chakshu, which is capable of going beyond the body, see you as antaryami, Ishvara in every jiva. So here, Lakshmana knows all these things. He may not be a total jnani. Aham brahmasmi iti he may not be aware. But he knows that his brother is none other than Ishvara. So he's saying here, Padabja Brangahita Sanga Sanginam. Padabja means lotus feet. Pada Abja. Abja means what? That which has come out or born out of water. Abja. that which is born out of water. So many things are born out of water, isn't it? So many things. So many plants are born in water. Fish are born in water. Tadpoles are born in water. Various kinds of hyacinths and other plants are born in water. But then why is it said Padabja Branga Hita Sanga Sanginam? Pada Abja. So here Abja stands for lotus. Abja can mean anything which is born in water. But Abja clearly stands for Pada Pankajam, we say. Okay? Padma Patra Iva Ambhasa, Krishna says. So whenever we talk about anything that is born in water, as a sacred thing that is born in water, we take lotus. Why lotus? Lotus being in water, the leaf of the lotus does not get wet. The leaf of the lotus does not get dirty. Forget the leaf. Even the petals of lotus. It seems the petals of lotus have such fine serrations, very fine serrations, that water just flows out of them. So even the petals of Ambuja or Abja, Kamala, doesn't get wet. Similarly, even the petal of, lotus does not get dirty by any dirt. Dirt just cannot accumulate there. That is why a lotus is considered to be a symbol of purity. Okay? When we talk about purity, we talk about lotus as the purity. So, Padabja, your pure feet, which are like the lotus, and all these satsangis, bhaktas and jnanis, like bhringas, like the bees, are coming towards your feet. Why? To surrender to you and learn from you. So who are these jnana drisham? They are the pada, abja, bhrangahita, sanga sanginam. Okay, so they're all people who are satsangis, who want to reach, who want to come to your pure lotus-like feet. So from head to toe, Ishvara is defined as purity. That's why we have many of our deities having lotus in their hands. It's a sign of purity. Sitting on the lotus, again purity. So lotus in our scriptures stands for the purity of heart, purity of intellect. So those who are people, who are satsangis, who are munis, who are jnanadarshis, who are wanting, are satsangis, who are wanting to come to your lotus-like feet for this particular knowledge, to literally, like the bees, to suck the nectar of knowledge from your lotus feet. See, these are all basically what you call as the alankaras, the figure of speeches, just to explain. Fine? Lakshmana could have asked this question directly. Adhihi Bhagavaha, like Ashwalayana asked Lord Brahma, Adhihi Bhagavaha. Please give me that knowledge. Okay? That is that Vidya which is Sreshtaha. That Vidya which is, teach me that. That's all. But here it is a very political, because Puranas are poetical, very poetic it is. Poetic because many Puranas are also very poetic. So you find that in even Bhagavatam and all in Puranas, you'll find lot of poetry. Every verse is explained in a very poetic way. So this is the way Lakshmana is coming and asking, for, I am like a bhakta, I have come to you. I have also been in satsanga. Being with you itself is satsanga. And I also, like those people, like the bhavaras or like the bees who come to get nectar from the abja, I have also come to get the nectar of knowledge from you, surrendering to your feet, Hey Bhagwan. And I know that you are not just my brother, that's only in name and form. It is just by birth of the body. But I know that you are that Ishvara in every being. See, this is how Lakshmana is asking for this knowledge. And then what does he say? He has to surrender and ask for this knowledge, isn't it? So we go to the go to the fifth verse now. This is the fifth verse, but the actual teaching has started from the fourth verse, which we took just now. And now we go to the fifth verse. अहं प्रपन्नोऽस्मि पदाम्बुजं प्रभो भवापवर्गं तव योगी भावितं यथाञ्जसा ज्ञानमपार वारिधिं सुखं तरिष्यामि तथानुशाधि माम्. अनुशाधि माम्. Hey Ishvara, Hey Guru, Anushadhimam. What did Arjuna say? Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. I have surrendered to you. Please teach me. What is the highest nishreyas for me? What is nishreyas? What is it that is the highest that I can attain, the highest benefit for me? Same thing he's asking. And what he's saying, Tatha Anushadhimam. Hey Bhagwan, Tatha, in whatever way it is necessary, therefore, Anushadhimam. Please teach me. And what? What kind of teaching do I want? He says, Ajnanam apara varidhim. Okay? Sukham tarishyami. I want to actually, this apara varidhi means this non-ending ocean of ajnana and samsara. Okay? I'm caught in that. Okay? He says here, ajnanam apara varidhim sukham tarishyami. Please help me to cross over this ajnana apara varidhi sukham tarishyami. Without much of a difficulty, I should be able to cross. And how? Yatha anjasam. As early as possible. Okay? Because mukti, knowledge and mukti are immediate. When knowledge is there, moksha is immediate. I don't have to wait. After knowledge, I don't have to wait for some time for, freedom. With the rising of the knowledge, mukti is there. So, yatha anjasam, immediately, okay? Ajnanam apara varidhim sukham tarishyami. So that I may cross over this samsara sagara without any difficulty, anjasa. As early as possible, tarishyami tatha. For that, in that way, anushadhimam. May you teach me. And what is it that I want to ask you? What is the teaching that I want to ask you? He says, Aham prapannosmi. I have surrendered to you. Shishyam he te shadimam tvam prapannam. Prapannam means the one who has surrendered. So, aham prapannosmi. You are the altar of my surrender. I will allow your words to reach me without any resistance. What is the meaning of surrender? The meaning of surrender is that I will allow you to take me ahead. My free will not work here. Okay? My free will not work here because I do not know what is jnana. I only know that I am a samsari. I only know that my samsara is because of my ajnana. Nothing else. In that case, what should I do? I surrender to you the altar. Okay? And my surrender is such that I will allow your words, your advice, okay, to reach me without any resistance, without any judgment. This is the meaning of surrender. We all say sometimes, I have surrendered to God to do whatever He wants. No, but immediately I have, if this happens, if that happens, if this is so, if that is so, my free will is butting in between. That is not surrender. If I truly surrender, I just do not bother about my free will. Whatever it may be, wherever it may be, however it may be, I have surrendered to the Lord, and the Lord is going to hold me and take me where it is necessary. And whatever lessons I have to learn from all these experiences, I have to learn. It is like a, a cat's, a small newborn, kitten, allowing itself to be carried by the neck by the mother. The mother, it carries the marjala. It's called as a marjala nyaya. It carries this kitten, biting it in its bite, holding it on its neck. But the kitten is absolutely surrendered. No free will from its side at all. Completely surrendered. And the mother knows where to take the kitten. This is the surrender. If I want knowledge from the Guru, this is the surrender. No questions asked. Means, why like this? Why should I do this? Why should I not do this? Why you have not taught me this? No, not like that. Means pariprashna is allowed. Why? Means if I have not understood something, a proper question, a right question for my better understanding is definitely allowed. There is no doubt about it. So he says, Lakshmana says, Aham prapannosmi padambuja prabho bhavapavargam tava yogi bhavitam tava padambujam yogi bhavitam padambujam. Yogis who have surrendered to your lotus feet, to those lotus feet, Aham prapannosmi. Hey Prabhu, hey Ishvara, I am surrendering myself to those lotus feet. And what happens here? Bhava apavargam. Okay? Bhava apavargam. Bhavasya nivrittihi. Bhavasya nivritti. Bhavasya means what? Bhava means what? Samsara. Samsara is what? Dukkha. So, bhava apavarga. That means bhavasya nivrittihi. Your padambujas, by surrendering to them, okay, which have been surrendered to by other yogis. Now I am surrendering for bhavapavarga. Bhavapavarga means what? For, nivritti from bhava. Bhavasya. Nivritti. Bhavapavarga. See, bhava has got multiple connotations. Now here, bhava means world, samsara. Bhavarnava, okay, again it means the ocean of samsara. Okay, but in Shiva Namavali, in Shiva Ashtottara or Shiva Sahasranama, We call Shiva also as Bhava, isn't it? Bhava. So does it mean Shiva has samsara? No. Here, in that sense, Bhava means it is Bhu Dhatu. That means the one who is existing. Bhavaya Namaha. When you say Bhavaya Namaha, we are not saying Samsara Dukkhaya Namaha. No. When you say Bhavaya Namaha to Lord Shiva in his Nama, the Bhava there is the one who is in the form of pure existence. So we have to be very careful when we are interpreting a particular word. Okay, because a particular word in Sanskrit in different contexts may have different connotations. Okay, sometimes one dhatu can give rise to words which can mean different things. Fine. So there it is Bhava, Bhavaya Namaha. That means the one who is in the form of existence. Here Bhavapavargaha means the one who is asking for Bhavasya Nivrittihi. Okay. Or Samsara Arnava Nivrittihi. Samsara Sagarat Nivrittihi. That is what is called as Bhavapavargaha. So, aham prapannosmi. Yogi bhavitam padambujam prabho. I have surrendered to your lotus feet, which have already been surrendered to by the other yogis who have found their way out of samsara and gone. Bhavapavarga has already happened. For the same reason, Hey Prabhu, I am surrendering to you. Prabhu means the one who is capable of manifesting in different ways. The one who is the controller of everything. Hey Prabhu, Ishvara. It's a name for Ishvara. And Yatha Anjasa Ajnanam Aparavaridhim Sukham Tarishyami. Okay. As it is necessary for me to cross this Bhavarnava easily without any problem. Tatha anushadhimam. Give me that teaching. Give me that teaching. Shadhimam. Give me that particular teaching. Okay. And then next now Lord Shiva is giving the commentary for the next verse. So Lord Shiva here is like the Sutradhara. You know, the Sutradhara who says, he came and asked, and then he went, then this fellow, now he is answering. So Shiva said, Saumitri asked this question to Rama. Okay, Saumitri Uvacha. And now again Shiva comes and says, what happened after Saumitri asked this question? After, Lakshmana asked this question, what happened? So Shiva is telling Uma Devi, he's telling, Shrutva tha Saumitri vachanokhilam tada praha prapannarti hara prasannadhihi vijnanam ajnanatamo shruti prapannam kshitipalabhushanam. So last word if you take, kshitipalabhushanam. Kshitipalabhushanam. Kshitipala means Raja, an emperor. And Kshitipalabhushana means the highest of the kings. Okay? The Meru, the greatest of the kings. And who is it? Rama. Ramaraja. Correct? So Rama. Kshitipalabhushana Rama. Okay? So when he was approached like this, what happened? Shrutva, having heard, Ataha Saumitri Vachanokhilam. Rama heard quietly the 2 verses of praise that Lakshmana has bestowed upon his brother. Rama heard him. Quietly he heard him. Rama as Ishvara does not have any ego, does not require any validation from any other person, does not need any Vandi Janas to praise him. Rajadi Raja Maharaja, this, that, when the king walks in, like there are Vandi Janas who are, praising, he doesn't want all that. He is Ishvara. He knows very well. But then Shrutva, okay, having heard Saumitri Vachano Khilam, Saumitri Vacha Akhilam, all the words that were told by Lakshmana, a very flowery and poetic language. He has, given up 2 verses, and ultimately those 2 verses mean what? Only one sentence. Hey Rama, I trust that you are the right teacher for me. I surrender to you. Please give me that knowledge by which I can get out of the bhava or bhavasagara. That's all. So these 4th verse and 5th verse where Lakshmana is praising Rama is purely a poetic way of Vyasacharya's writing this in Brahmanda Purana. That's all. Okay, the ultimate meaning is only that. He is a Rama, a Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru, Ishvara himself, which is recognized by his brother Lakshmana, approaches the Guru in the right way, in the right manner, and surrenders to the Guru and asks for this knowledge, which will help him completely, cross over the ocean of samsara. Ultimately, that's all. These 2 verses only mean that for which I have taken 45 minutes. It doesn't matter. I love, I enjoy, every word, analyzing every word and, saying what it means. I hope also you are also enjoying, I hope, because I don't want to unnecessarily just give, translated meanings of each word and then go ahead. That is not real teaching. Okay. So, then, Shrutva atha Saumitri Vachokilam Tada, that time, Praha, Rama started telling. Prapannarthi haraha prasannadhihi. And who is Rama? Prapannarthi haraha. The one who will solve the problem of a person who has surrendered to him. Prapanna arti haraha. Prapanna means the one who has surrendered. With what? An arti, with a desire to know something. Vidyarthi, dhanarthi, labharthi. What does this mean? Arti means they have got a desire for something. Here, prapannarti haraha prasannathihi. Arti means that sankata or that bhavasagara problem which Lakshmana is suffering. Rama wants to, relieve Lakshmana of that. And who is Rama? Prasannadhihi. He is a prasannadhi. He is a person who is now prasannadhi. Like nothing disturbs Ishvara, isn't it? So many things are happening around. Nothing disturbs him because he knows that everything is the handiwork of Maya. And whatever is the right thing that is happening. It is Ishvara Sankalpa. So prasannadhi. That is why even a jnani is a prasannadhi. He doesn't worry what is happening around him or her. Because the jnani knows Aham Brahmasmi. So praha, prapannarti haraha prasannadhihi Rama praha. Okay. And then what kind? What did he tell him? What was that which followed? Vijnanam ajnana tamopashantaye. He spoke or gave those words which are none other than Vijnanam. What is Vijnanam? Knowledge. Not simple knowledge. A knowledge which can be very clearly assimilated and whose work is done. And what kind of a Vijnanam did he give? Vijnanam Ajnanatama Upashantaye. Okay, upashantaye. What upashantaye? To get rid of. Tamaha, the darkness of ignorance. Ajnana tama upashantaye. Vijnanam praha prasannadhihi Rama. And to whom? Shruti prapannam. Kshitipala bhushanaha. Now there are many adjectives here to Rama. Okay. So here prapannarthi haraha is an adjective to Rama. Prasannadhihi is an adjective to Rama. Kshitipala bhushanaha is an adjective to Rama. So who is Rama? The highest and the most exalted among kings. Kshitipala bhushanaha. Prapannarthi haraha, the one who is keen on getting the person who has surrendered to him, to get him out of trouble. And by himself, prasannadhihi. Okay? And he understood Lakshmana's question. Saumitri vacha akhilam shrutva. He understood the reason why it was asked. Rama understood the seriousness with which Lakshmana has asked this question. Rama also understood that Lakshmana is a fit adhikari for this answer, for this jnana. Rama also knew that Lakshmana had all the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, the karma yoga chitta shuddhi, upasana yoga chitta naischalyam. So he was an uttama adhikari. He knew that. Therefore, Kshitipala bhushanaha Ramaha praha. To whom did he talk? Shruti prapannam Lakshmanam praha. Shruti prapannam Lakshmanam. Lakshmana was Shruti prapanna. The one who was wanting to know. Okay? Who was wanting to understand. Who had taken the shelter, or who had surrendered to Rama. He was prapannarthi. Prapannarthi means the one who was really wanting to get out of his misery, and he was Shruti Prapannam, the one who had surrendered to him and to the Shruti and was willing to listen to Shruti that Rama gave. Okay, so Shruti Prapannam Lakshmanam Kshitipala Bhushanam Praha. What did he speak on? Vijnanam Ajnana Tamo Shantaye. That knowledge which will remove Ajnanam once and for all. So he gave this knowledge. And from the next verse, actually, the teaching of the Ramagita starts where Rama starts from the beginning. That is, he starts from Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Mahavakya Vicharam. It's a whole Vedantic text. So, Shri Ramachandra Uvacha. Now comes the real teaching. Okay. This also, what Rama told Lakshmana, is narrated by Shiva to Parvati. Okay. This also in the story, in the Purana, what Rama is telling Lakshmana is also being narrated by Shiva to Parvati. Like how Sanjaya narrated whatever was happening in Mahabharata war to Dhritarashtra, and how Bhagwan Vyasacharya compiled whatever was happening between Krishna and Arjuna in the battlefield. You understand? It's a dialogue within a dialogue, story within a story. That is the style of our Puranas. So, Sri Ramachandra Uvacha. I think we hardly have any time. We'll just read the verse and the explanation we'll do next time. Shri Ramachandra Uvacha आदौ स्ववर्णाश्रमवर्णिताः क्रियाः कृत्वा समासादितशुद्धमानसः समाप्य तत्पूर्वमुपात्तसाधनः समाश्रयेत् सद्गुरुमात्मलब्धये. Okay, so now Ramachandra Uvacha, Rama is now talking first about the need of karma yoga. Doing your nitya naimittika karmas with the attitude of karma yoga, he is talking about. And he is talking about karma and karma phala and how to do your karma without getting afflicted by karma phala. What is karma yoga? How you can do your karma without getting tainted by its phala? All these things in the next 2 or 3 verses, Bhagwan Rama is going to answer starting from the beginning karma yoga. So we'll stop with this here. ॐ नन्दन्तु साधका सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्था शाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोऽस्तु गुरुः सदा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत्.